Hello, and welcome to Calming the Chaos, where we present tips, tools, and techniques to help you find peace in a chaotic world. I'm your host, Tracy Canella, licensed mental health counselor at Lokahi Counseling. This channel and the Calming the Chaos podcast is for those who want self-help and education. It's not a substitute for counseling or psychotherapy. So if you like the information, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for listening. And now, let the chaos begin. Well, here we are again at Calming the Chaos. And, well, today and this last week has been especially chaotic. Settle down now and let me tell you a story about a website that I launched in 2009 and how I worked so hard to create this website and how it all came crashing down on me this week. I think I really handled it well. Probably not. And so, because I did not handle it well, I am on here because I want to highlight people that handled chaos well. And I am not one of them. Oh, hi, Carrie. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Can I just say that I'm frustrated and just not in a great mood? Sometimes you just have to do that. Oh my gosh. So my story is very short, actually. So don't worry, I'm not going to ramble on for a long time because I don't want to bore anybody. And all I wanted to do was to make some updates to my website. That's it. I no longer have an employee, and there are some updates that I needed to do, just like zip, zip, zip. So I couldn't log in, and I call first off, before I even called them, I tried to update my password. And apparently they have the wrong email address for my password. So I didn't get an email password update. So I had to call them. Fast forward an hour and a half later on Saturday, and an hour and a half later today, they finally granted me access to my own do-it-yourself website. But Carrie, does it take that long? It's over 3 hours just to get access to the website that I've been paying for and building since 2009. I'm afraid I wasn't as nice as I could be. I wasn't as professional as I probably should have been to these people. But that's what inspired me to come on and highlight people who have transcended the chaos, because I certainly have not. Oh, there's another Tracy. Hello. Thanks, guys, for joining me. I'm just a little bit griping right now, but I promise it'll get better because I do have a lot of things that I want to highlight that people are doing well. And I am not one of those people. I mean, I've done some things well this week. Maybe I should start there. Gosh, I can't think of anything. All right, I'll come back to that. Well, I showed up for all of my client sessions this week, and I had a lot of them. So that was good. And I think I made my way through some challenges professionally with my podcast. But sometimes I just want to give up. I mean, this is the way I was on Saturday afternoon when I just could not get onto my website and I couldn't get anybody to help me. I was in tears and I figured, you know what? I'm going to give everything up. I'm just going to not do it anymore. I'm just going to quit this whole thing. It's stupid. Bye. So as I'm crying my eyes out, just thinking like, why can't I get this done? Okay, maybe it was worse than that. But I was alone in the house and no animals were around to get upset. So, hey, let me have my release. So here I am upset. And then I finally figured out this one little thing. I guess my mission is not to promote myself. I have to promote other people. And so I started looking around, let's fast forward to a happier mood, to people in the world who are actually transcending chaos and doing a really good job at it. Oh, hey. Hi, Meg. Oh, well, I'm sometimes not professional. I'm real unprofessional. As Timmy can attest to when I bring him on a little bit. But I'm glad you're joining us, and JD too. Oh, thank you guys. This is so cool. I really appreciate this because I was pretty much about to hang it up. And then I thought, listen, let me just try and figure out how to just figure out how I'm going to do the rest of my life here, because it was really not a great time for me. So there's my story about the website and about how I was crying on the floor, thinking I was not going to be able to do anything else ever again. And then I just started to think about it. And, maybe I have not been calling attention to the great people who have been doing good things in this world. And there are plenty of them. There are plenty of people. Oh, does JD want to fart? Well, I mean, does she want a fart, not to fart? I don't know if that was loud enough. Maybe I should turn up my volume. Did you hear that all right, JD? That was for you. Okay, let me try that again. Ooh, that's better. No, that always makes me laugh too. Yeah. Well, so this is where I want to start. I'm going to bring Timmy on. I can see he's not texting or doing anything strange down there. So I'm going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about some of these heroes, these rock stars that are actually doing really well. Because, I'll tell you what, this week has not been great for me. But it's not about me, right? It's about highlighting other people. Tracy, do you want to fart too? I mean, do you want me to? Yeah, this one is for Tracy. Wow, let's do that again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, you're welcome, adoring fans, all two of you that are out there. I really appreciate this. Of course, yes. All right, so I'm going to bring Timmy on, and actually, I'm going to try doing something a little bit different here. Oh, here we go. And I'm going to bring him on. Oops, I have to add him.
Am I there? Oh, there I am.
Wow,
look, there's a background there. That must be for that paid subscription to StreamYard, huh?
Right? I don't know. I mean, it's only about $8 a year, but yeah, it's all right. Let me switch back to my chat here. And yeah, so this has been a week, but it's been a week where people have been able to do great things in the news and beyond. So I guess first off, I want to give a shout out to everybody who is a frontline healthcare worker. Anybody who is doing work for people out there struggling with disease and COVID, although I don't want to make this whole thing about COVID, that's pretty much what's going on in our world. Thank you for being there. You are rock stars. Absolutely. And for those people who have had the patience to develop vaccines for COVID, thank you so much for your perseverance. Now, how many companies, Timmy, have developed vaccines for COVID?
Technically, I believe it's 5 that will shortly be on the market. There is one in China, I think, from a company called Sanofi or something like that. I'm probably butchering the word. So that's the Chinese version. And then you get the Russian version, which they ironically called Sputnik. And then you have the one that's in England, developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University. And then we have the 2 here, one by Pfizer and one by Moderna. So there's 5 out here. We should have 2 that are authorized here by the end of this week at the latest.
Outstanding. Which means that we can all maybe start to interact together more healthily in the future.
Yes.
Yes.
There are other therapeutics in the works, obviously. There's one I was just reading a story about today. I'm not sure what it is, but I believe it's inhaled or something. It's a really weird story, but apparently if you take this early enough in the process of you having it or determining that you have it, within 24 to 36 hours, it's done. It's gone. So, but the whole point of this drug here is you don't need a shot. And if you can catch it early enough, you can get rid of it quicker. So that's still kind of like phase 2, phase 3. They're unfortunately, I guess for the betterment of mankind, they're testing it on animals. But
yeah. So those people are able to keep focus on what really matters and transcend the chaos and do what they need to do to help people and to help mankind. So thank you, frontline healthcare workers. Thank you, vaccine developers. And then I would really like to thank those people who are struggling with COVID, because it's not easy. I don't know, I haven't gotten it, but I've heard about it. It's not great at all. In fact, it's a big, not good, not good. And the people who are struggling with it, they are transcending chaos at this point in time. And they can get stronger if their mental attitude is positive and if their support systems are good, they can transcend even further the chaos that's going on with just in their bodies and with this COVID. And they're sagacious. Hello. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I didn't think that there would be this many people. I did prepare some notes here just because I just felt like I didn't want to be talking to myself about nothing. But it's really, I really like being able to honor people who are doing well throughout chaos. So there's what we have to do. One of the things I want to try and do is put up this. Let's see if I can do this. Wait a minute, that didn't work.
While you're doing that, I want to say just something about what you were talking about earlier, about how you had a tough time, especially this morning when you were on hold for as long as you were. Just my experience with being on hold with whomever it is you're on hold with is get what you need to get first and then lay into them.
Oh, yes, I know. You said that to me after I had already,
Yes, because if you start going off on them before you get what you need to get, then they will conveniently say, I need to put you on hold for a few moments while I talk to my supervisor. When you know, and I know, and everybody else that's out there listening knows, they're not putting you on a hold to get a hold of their supervisor. They're putting you on hold. They're trying to ice you or calm you down, or so. I don't know what the heck they're trying, but it's not because they can't fix your problem.
Right.
So get what you need to get, and then when you're done, then you can call them all the names in the book.
Yeah. Yes, I could have done things that way if I were a person who is able to transcend chaos and actually go and do what is the more prudent thing to do. But I was pretty mean, don't you think? I think I was in full bitch mode. Do you think I was?
I'd say you were probably an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You were up there.
Yeah. And I pulled out all the stops as far as that goes. Uh, I wanted to show everybody this next example, but apparently I'm not able to pull it up because I put it in my wallpapers for some dumb reason. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. So what I want to be able to do is show this picture. But myself, I'm in the way. How do I get myself out of the way? I can remove myself from the stream, but then I wouldn't be able to talk. But okay. Anyway, this picture is not Santa Claus without a hat, but the guy on your right is a Gabriel Sterling, who is a Georgia election official, who is telling people to stop inspiring violence. And by people, I mean our esteemed president. So he's the guy with the glasses, and he had an amazing speech. I'm so sorry that I couldn't figure out how to show him better on the screen. Again, that's that's the best I can do, unless I remove ourselves from the stream. And the guy on his left, oh my gosh, this guy, you can't see the whole beard, but he is like Santa Claus dressed in black. I am not kidding you. And they were talking about really stopping all of the violent accusations and the violent threats that are going on because of our elections in the United States. Timmy, can you say more about that?
Well, what had happened was, obviously this is Georgia, a hotly contested, very tight-knit race that they have now, I think, by the end of the day today, they will have certified that vote for Joe Biden, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So the initial election, they certified it. Then they went back and they did a hand recount of some counties. And then by law, since the margin of victory was less than 0.5%, it triggered yet another full recount. Now, that's not a bunch of people sitting in a room looking at ballots. It's just them taking all of the ballots, which are electronic, and running them back through the machine again, or machines. So 3 times they've done this, and all 3 times Biden has come out on top. So subsequently, what's happened here is some of the people that are gathering the results and taking it from one building to the next, because all of this stuff is tabulated offline to prevent what our president is claiming is happening. So they take these tabulations and they can take them on something as simple as a little jump drive, something like this. And they're carrying them from one building to the next. These couriers, these people that had nothing to do with anything, their lives are being threatened by carrying the vote tabulations from one building to the next. And even this guy here with the glasses, he's been threatened. And I'm not going to say who threatened him. I don't know. But obviously they have been threatened. And I think we have a pretty good idea who's doing the threatening. But he's calling for people to stop it. Because these people that work here, some of them, I call them kids because they're much younger than me. They have nothing to do with this. They're just doing their job. And yet they're being threatened. So kudos to him.
Yes. Very much kudos to, his name is Gabriel Sterling, and he gets a round of applause. As does Santa Claus. Santa Claus rhymes with applause.
I think that guy could be like Santa Claus if he had a Harley Davidson with a red headlight or something like that.
He does look like, if you could actually see the real picture and I could move myself and my husband out of the way, you'd be able to see. But go and Google Gabriel Sterling, Georgia election official, and you will see Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus in black. And he's no joke. He is probably my favorite person right now, just watching, because he's so animated when he's the interpreter for the hearing impaired. And so he gets a great round of applause, of course. Ooh, what was that?
Oh, that was my chair. It's not me.
What? That was your chair?
Yeah.
Oh,
noises.
yeah. When I was working in the corporate world, and I'd swing around on my heel, and I would, maybe let one fly, kind of like, well, I don't know, like this. Ooh, I would say it's my shoe. Oh, it's just my shoe. And then what I do is I would desperately get my shoe to try and make that sound again. Sometimes it would actually really be my shoe, but sometimes it would not. So, yeah. Well, I want to go back to a comment that Meg made earlier about this one. There we go. So Meg said that it helps to know that even a trained mental health professional still has her bad days, makes the rest of us feel normal. This, Meg, is why I have so many clients, I believe, is because I definitely make no secret about the fact that mental health counselors, they need their own counselors, they need their own help, and they're just human too, trying to figure this out. All we did was we went to school to figure out how to help everybody else. And in the process, we still have our own problems. And so any sort of myth that anybody has about mental health counselors having it all together is completely wrong. We don't. We definitely don't. But the thing that separates us is our willingness to learn, the willingness that we have to just be aware of our own issues and transcend them as much as we can. Obviously, I didn't do a great job this week, but I did the job that I did, and I learned a little bit more about my purpose. So, and then Meg said she also would not want to see Santa without a hat. Yeah, so Meg, that's what goes on underneath Santa's hat. Not a whole lot of hair there. Oh, you just saw your nun from school without her habit on? Hopefully she has good habits, right? Timmy has some experiences with nuns from his school.
Yeah, I think my knuckles are still sore.
Yeah. Yeah, old Timmy.
Long time ago. But you never forget that first whack across the knuckles with the ruler from the nuns. So
exactly. Right.
You notice how I said first. I didn't say how many subsequent ones I had. But anyways, for another discussion. Hey, shout out to those Facebook fans that are out there. I know we've got at least one out there. Hello, Carol.
Is that my mom?
Yeah.
Oh, my mom's listening. Okay, well, I have to say that if anybody's transcended chaos because she's my mom, she has got to have, let's give her. Did anybody hear that? That was my golf clap. Let's just give her a full round of applause, shall we? My mother. Okay, and I would like to say that this woman went through 52 hours of labor to give birth to me, who is right here. 55 and a half years ago. Go, Mom. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad to see people are joining us on Facebook. We are just doing this because we would like to be able to highlight people who are out there doing great things, who we have seen. And who knows, there might be other people as well. Let me change this picture back to what I had before. And I'm so sorry that I'm not able to actually have it a little bit more clear, but you get the point, right? Well, it looks like Mr. Outlaw is here with us today. I hope that you are doing well with those curves, maneuvering them on your motorcycle. Let's do a shout out to Outback Outlaw. Oops, that was supposed to be a round of applause. I am so sorry. Let's do that again. Oh man, I don't know why my buttons are malfunctioning so much.
Sorry, I farted.
Sorry.
Shout out to Timmy for trying to help me out. Sorry, Outback, that was your applause. Yay. Well, so what else do we have out there? I have found a great YouTube channel that if people want to go there, they can. And it's called Awaken Insight. And this dude is like, I don't know, he's the epitome of Zen. He's got like dreadlocks down to his ass, and he's got the little John Lennon glasses. And the latest YouTube he had was let people dislike you. Oh, yes. Let people dislike you. How do people think about that? Like just having people, just let them do it. Let them dislike you. What do you think, Timmy?
Well, that's one way of garnering attention, is just letting people dislike you. I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know, in a roundabout way, just kind of giving in without actually giving in. I guess that's the way I look at it. I think a good example of letting people hate you is Howard Stern. Okay, there's an example of just letting somebody hate you would be somebody like Howard Stern. He knows that he has a tremendous following, but most of his listeners are from people that do not like him. And they listen for longer and they listen more often. So he embraces it. So why not embrace it?
Well, okay. Howard Stern has an opinion and he sticks with it, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Well, I understand that I've been a bit wishy-washy on my opinions in the past, as was pointed out to me this week, this awesome week of mine that has been filled with joy. And yeah, I get that. I think that some people, though, are kind of afraid to express their opinions. What do you think about that?
I think they are afraid, but I think they're more afraid of maybe tarnishing an image or I don't know, maybe something along that line rather than just being themselves. Now, I'm not saying we all go out there and be like some people on some Zoom calls and let everything hang out there, but you know, with moderation, okay, with moderation and zippers. So, you know, I mean, I don't see any issue with it. You know, if somebody doesn't like me because I do something a certain way, fine, I don't care. Was that you know, okay, so yeah, I see where Meg is coming from here, but I just don't let it bother me. I'll try not to let it bother me. It's hard. I get it. You know, you can take it personally. I mean, I've had to deal with some of that fairly recently, which is on a different level, but just, you know, good night's sleep, good bottle of whatever you got.
Bottle.
Let it go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You had some, and maybe somebody will join us on Facebook. Who knows? My mother's there. But the one person that you have a conflict with on Facebook just happens to be the husband of one of my very good colleague friends. And you were quite upset about that today.
Well, it's not so much upset. We're very cordial about it. It's just difference of opinions about the whole COVID thing. And, you know, I understand where he's coming from, but the point I was basically trying to make with the whole COVID thing, real quickly, I'll just say, he's of the belief that they shouldn't lock things down, leave them open. One of his arguments is if I can stand in line at Costco or I can stand in line to buy pot at the weed shop, why can't I go and get a haircut? Why can't I go and take my kid to get maybe jujitsu lessons or something like that? And I told him flat out, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the belief that let's keep everything open. And if you don't want to go to a restaurant, or if you don't want to take your kid to wherever it is you want to take your kid to, or you don't want to go to the gym, then don't do that. But don't stop me from doing it. Now, this is him saying it. My issue with that is if I do that and I stay home and I do all the precautions I need to do, I wear my mask, I socially distance, I hand sanitize, wash my hands, all that, I still have to go to work on Monday morning. And if I go to work on Monday morning and I work right next to him, who has gone to the Olive Garden and he went to LA Fitness or wherever, and he got the COVID, but he's asymptomatic. And now he sits down in the cubicle next to mine and he gives it to me. And I'm O positive blood. There you go. I'll put it out there. Woo, big surprise. I get the COVID. And say I go to visit my parents on the other side of town who are elderly and maybe high risk, and I give it to them and they die. I know it wasn't me that gave it to him, but because of his actions, he has caused somebody to die because we didn't want to infringe on his rights to go to a restaurant or go to a gym. That was the point I was trying to make.
Well, he got on you he said it was your fault for going to visit your parents.
Well, and that's when I went on there and I had to clarify that he was asymptomatic, gave it to me, who I am asymptomatic. And as we all know, most people that are spreading it are asymptomatic. And then I gave it to my parents. He didn't know that he had it and gave it to me. And I didn't know I had it because I had no idea he had it. The point I was trying to make is his whole theory of just let everything stay open, let everybody do what they want to do. And if you don't want to visit the restaurant, if you don't want to go to the gym, then don't do it. And the flaw in that is what I just pointed out. Now I have to go to work because I have to provide for my family and I have to sit next to you. And I don't know what you did over the weekend. Here, I'll do it this way. I don't know what you did over the weekend.
Yes, you did.
And so you went to the gym and you went to Applebee's and you brought the COVID to me. And now I brought it to my mom. And now my mom is dead.
Well, no, she's not. She's very much alive. Meg wants to know, what does your blood type have to do with it? And she's O negative. What do you know anything about that?
What I do know is O positive. They have somewhat kind of confirmed that O positive is much less likely to, number one, get the virus, and if you do, it would be a much lighter case. Now, I don't know if that's the same with O negative. I know it's O positive. At least that's what I have read. Okay, it's what they say. You know, that's a big thing. They say, and now we're finding out who they are. But anyways,
well, hopefully that answered your question.
That's my spiel on that. And we went back and forth on this through a couple of huge posts that were, yay big on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
So, anyways,
for that, yes. Well, so who transcended in that situation, Timmy? Was it you, him, or were you both really respectful? And obviously, there's a lot to think of in this topic matter. Who transcended in that case?
I think we both did. At the end of the day, I had flat out asked him, has he been into a marijuana shop recently? Because the law here is there can only be one customer or one couple of customers per employee. So you can't have 100 customers swarming into a pot shop. So I asked him, have you been to a pot shop? What's your experience like? Because I have. It's not like I'm going and buying a bowl every other day, but I go in there for some CBD oil or some tincture or something like that. And he had to admit that he had not been into a pot shop. But see, so once again, it's this misinformation, because people like to throw that out there. Oh, I can buy weed, but I can't get a haircut. So I think we both kind of came to an understanding. It's like, in the end, we all got it. Hopefully we came into this together. Hopefully we can come out of it together. So,
good.
We shed some light in both. I'm not against keeping things open, as long as that facility, whatever business it is adhering to all the protocols, cleaning, sanitizing, doing all that stuff. And if there is an outbreak, they shut down, they try and identify where it came from and make sure that doesn't happen again, and then, get certified to be reopened. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see businesses shut down, but there are alternatives to some other things, so that's it. There you go.
Well, a shout out to Dave and Timmy. Transcending the chaos. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's see. So it looks like that we've got some people in our chat who have had experience with nuns. There are more than I knew. Sagacious had a nun in her past, and so did Meg. I don't remember if JD did too, but yeah. And then Timmy. We got at least 3 people who've had experiences with nuns in their past. So I do want to say that there was one nurse who was fired from his job as a frontline healthcare worker. And the story is that he did not want to bring his scrubs home because he didn't know whether it would infect his family with COVID. And so what he did was he wanted to use the hospital scrubs because the hospital would launder his scrubs versus he would have to take his scrubs home and launder them himself. And this is why he's claiming that he got fired from his job. Now, here I am taking things with a grain of salt and knowing that maybe until I see the actual unemployment claim, I won't know exactly why this guy was fired from his job as a nurse. But I do have to say, if that is true, and he tried to protect his own family from COVID by using hospital scrubs versus taking his own scrubs home and laundering them, a shout out to this guy, this nurse. Now, again, this is a preliminary shout out. So just a golf clap here, but he seemed to be having what really matters in the forefront of his mind. So just wanted to bring that out about that nurse who got fired, and we don't know what's going to happen with that in the future. So, all right. Well, another thing I'd like to be able to bring up is, and again, this is, forgive me here, I'm not going to be able to show this whole thing, but you know how I've been talking about Wim Hof? Now this, you're probably not going to be able to see it. Oh, you see, you see his nose right below Timmy's chest right there, right? Now that is Wim Hof. And he posted a throwback picture from like 20 years ago. Now, this is the guy who likes to take ice baths and like says that you do this breathing technique and then you take a cold shower and all your anxieties will be gone. This is him doing a one-armed push-up. And I just want to say, dude, rock that one-armed push-up. Right? And I thought, there's sooner going to be me doing a one-arm push-up than there's going to be me taking a cold shower or an ice bath. So I've got some more things to aim toward. Thank you, Wim Hof, for your efforts. Again, I'm going to try and show it. No, just can't do it.
Can you make it your screen as you and then just put you on screen?
I don't know. Oh, well, no, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me how to work this thing.
I don't know how to work. We need Scott here.
I know. Scott could really help us here. But yeah, I think I probably needed to save it to not a background, but a...
as your picture so that when you leave...
there you go.
Can you make it that?
Yeah.
We just did that. So
I know. What did I do? And how do I get us back?
I don't know. But your whole one-arm picture thing, that reminded me of Jack Palance doing the one-arm push-ups at the Oscars some time ago.
Oh, right. Oh, here we go. I can do this. Here we go. So you have just taught me. Here we go. There's Wim Hof doing the one-arm push-up. Yay, Wim Hof. This is an amazing feat.
That looks like Kurt Cobain.
I would say an amazing feat with the arms. Right?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, and then now what I'll do now is I'll put that other Santa Claus picture up here too.
Oh, because we just need to see that.
Exactly. Well, you know, everybody needs to see. This is Santa Claus in black with Gabriel Sterling at the Georgia election. Now that I know how to do this, here they are. Thank you for transcending the chaos. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to us. Let's see if I can do this here. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You're becoming a professional.
It's a learning curve thing. All right. So Let's see. So we mentioned that, and then the other thing I wanted to do was mention a couple of podcaster buddies of mine that have actually been able to do great things with their podcasts. Elizabeth Biz Cush, Melvin Varganese, and Lisa Mustard, who I'm going to have an interview with next week. I've already had the interview, but it's going to be published next week. And I just want to say these three people are inspiring as far as people developing, putting out podcasts, and helping other people calm the chaos of doing podcasting, because it's not easy to do a podcast. So thank you so much for being inspirations, Biz, Melvin, and Lisa Mustard. There you go. Oh my gosh. Anybody you want to shout out to?
No, I don't think so. Just.
What about you? Oh,
Hmm?
wow. Oh, I was going to say there was some people that I thought that maybe you would like to be able to give a shout out to, but I can't find the picture right now. Darn it.
I don't know. Hey, just a shout out to I guess to all the election officials, all the volunteers that helped during the election process. Shout out to them for having to go through all of that. For me, everybody likes to thank all them frontline workers, those nurses, those doctors, and stuff like that. But I don't think we give enough credit to the grocery store worker, the kid or the person stocking the shelf, the people that are working the registers, and they gotta see people all day long and deal with them, and so
That's true. They got to wear a mask all day, and they've got to be nice and customer servicey. And so, yes, grocery store workers, retail workers, all these people who are transcended.
Yeah, the postal service, and the UPS and FedEx drivers that are out there, those Amazon delivery trucks, which, by the way, they're showing up way too frequently here.
Well, whose fault is that, I wonder? Maybe your brother's?
I don't know. I guess I'll find out next month.
Speaking of your brothers, here's a great, nice picture of three people transcending chaos. Whoops. Remember that?
Oh, good Lord.
What are those three people doing in that place where they are? Oh my gosh. Let's have a moment of silence for people transcending chaos. And let's have a big old hot tub. Ooh. Oh yeah. Who's doing that? Which one of you guys was doing that?
Losing his mind.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember how to do this. All right, yes. I think I've covered everything. I don't know if anybody has brought anything else up. There are so many, is what JD was saying. Yes, I agree with that. There are. One of the things, I mean, we like to come on every Monday just to kind of say, hey, and do our thing. And now we're streaming live to Facebook too. And we've got like all of one person, my mom, watching us. But we do like to come on and say stuff about a certain topic and keep it about an hour long. I would like to say that the people who are struggling with mental health issues really deserve a shout out. I mean, anybody who's struggling with anxiety and depression and or problems with relationships, and anybody who's got an eating disorder or disordered eating behaviors, body image challenges that just survived Thanksgiving and Halloween. It's great. You're halfway there because we still got Christmas and New Year's left to go. But I do want to give all kinds of encouragement to all of those people struggling with food and mental disorders out there, that you're doing a great job. And thank you for continuing to not give up. I mean, I was one of those people, right? I didn't give up. And here I am. Not like I want to toot my horn, but there you go. So anybody who survived Thanksgiving, Halloween with an eating disorder or disordered eating behaviors, very good. Very good job.
It's tough. You get the sweet something or on Halloween, and then you get this massive whatever. you do at your house. It could be turkey, it could be duck, it could be a Cornish hen, roast beef, whatever it is. And now we got Christmas coming up, which, in my family, it was always a ham and kielbasa. So that's a lot of food,
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
but it's so good.
Well, your grandpa used to say everybody gets their own pie. Like,
there was so many pies, and I'm trying to count. Let's see, I have 3 brothers and 1 mom and 1 dad, so that was 6 of us. And then my aunt, my uncle, that makes 8. My grandma and grandpa would make 10, and my cousin, who really doesn't really count. So there would be at least 10 of us. And I swear there was at least 8 pies. For 10 people, 8 pies. And a 20, 25-pound turkey. I didn't know they came that big, but apparently they do.
you mean like the pie was bigger than a regular pie?
No, it was, just it was a pie, regular sized pie, but there was 8 of them for 10 people. You got to have your chocolate pie, you got to have your apple pie and your pumpkin pie, but can't just have 1 apple pie. It's 2 apple pies, and there was 2 chocolate pies and 2 pumpkin pies, and then there was, pecan pie, and then there was some other pie, maybe a lemon meringue pie. I think Grandma used to make a lemon meringue pie too. There's 8 pies.
Yeah. Yeah, sign me up for the lemon meringue, for sure. So that's got to be really hard for people who are struggling with food. And I know a couple of people have been talking about their own struggles or people's struggles. And I think just this last week, I believe it was it Demi Moore's daughter, Scout, came up on Instagram posting that picture. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but she has said that COVID has caused her to shed weight. And then she posted it on Instagram, and then she retracted it, and then she put it back up. I think it's probably still there. Her name is Scout. And I don't know if her last name is Willis or what her last name is. Okay, it's Willis.
There's
okay.
Scout and Rumor.
And what's her name? Tallulah, I think, is the other one. There's 3 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I wondered what people thought about that. And it's interesting because I think I'm going to talk about it a little bit to the eating disorder community. She made kind of an argument about, I'm posting this picture not to trigger anybody, but basically she was in this 3-piece suit. Did you see the picture, honey?
I don't think I saw the picture. I heard about it. I didn't see the picture though.
Okay, so the picture was she had there was shorts and a little tank top, and then a little kind of a croppy like if this thing was shorter, like a little croppy vest sort of thing, or a croppy sweater, but it was long sleeve. Yeah. So, it was covering a fair amount of skin, and the picture was one that you could obviously see that the person was fairly thin, and that thin being a judgment, and that we try not to make comments on people's weight or body size and shape. But she's acknowledging in the picture how thin she is and how much she has lost weight. And I saw that picture and thought how much it would probably trigger some of my clients that I work with. And yet I think the explanation she put was that this is my body and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It is right now on the thin side, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I don't know what people have to say about that. I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more thinking about that, because there are triggers everywhere. People are walking around with their bodies all over the place. And so if we can't handle that, then, that's sort of on us, right? So that's kind of what Scout was saying. It's like, this is my body. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. Yeah, it's really thin, whatever. So I don't know whether to give her a golf. I don't know what to give her at this point in time. What would you think? I don't think there's a sound effect for her.
I really don't know. I don't know. Well, Good for her.
Yes, I believe Sagacious is right. We didn't use fat or thin at all. So in general, what we want to try and do is encourage people to stay out of the web, WEB. W standing for weight. You know, we don't want to make comments about our numbers on the scale. Like if Scout had said, I weighed blah, blah, blah weight, and now I weigh blah, blah, blah weight. That would have been pretty triggering for people. So I'm glad she didn't do that. So that's a plus. E is for eating behaviors. Now, to Scout's credit, she did not mention how she's gotten this thin, like what she's been eating. And again, I use the word thin because she used it, what she's eating and what she's not eating, how many, you know, she's not giving a recipe, so to speak, for what she looks like. So eating behaviors, want to stay out of talking about those. And B is body weight, shape, and size. And so when we talk about people and we have in general conversation, yes, you're right, Sagacious, we probably should stay away from using those thin, because then we're going to have to, on the other side, use fat, right? And what we want to do is be able to appreciate, which is why we're on here today, is to appreciate people and their unique contributions, how they're able to become the best people that they can be beyond their body weight, size, and shape. So that's me, and that's what I have to say about it. What do you think, Timmy?
Oh, no, I agree. You know, I mean, it sounds to me like she went about it the right way, and she was just posting it. You know, people got in an uproar some years ago when there was pictures of Angelina Jolie that came out and how thin she was, and they got all worried. Oh my gosh, she's so thin. You know what? We don't know. We're not living in that house with them. We're not with them. Who knows? Who knows if they've decided to go with a lifestyle change? Maybe they decided to become a little bit more active physically, which, you know, in turn could change obviously your body. Or they could, you know, the other way, become less active, which could change your body, or just a dietary change. We don't know.
Yeah.
So we don't live there. So obviously she must have been catching some flack. And so she decided to make a stand and make a statement, and good for her.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we don't know what's going on beyond the body. We see the body that we see, and we can make judgments about comparing to what we saw you last, and now we see you again, or we see this picture and that picture, we can compare, because that's what we do with our minds, and that's what we do as humans to try and make sense out of things. And yet we don't know what's been going on. We don't know that there's any disordered eating there, and we really don't need to assume that. So I do admire, on the one hand, Scout putting that picture out, and at the same time feel a bit concerned because it may be triggering to some people, like vulnerable people like my clients, and other people who struggle with their own bodies. So anyway.
Well, here's an example of a perfect example of us not living in the world of these people. One of our favorite movies, Napoleon Dynamite, right? And we all love Uncle Rico. Uncle Rico just made that movie. Well, there was a scene where he's sitting on the porch with Kip, and they're eating a steak, right? And this is just before he picks the steak up and throws it at Napoleon. Well, he takes a bite out of the steak. What we don't know in real life is that the guy, the actor playing Uncle Rico, is a vegetarian. He does not eat meat. So just before he goes to throw that steak, you'll notice he takes a napkin and wipes his mouth. But what you don't know is he spits the steak out into the napkin that was in his mouth. And he did that a couple of times in that movie that you don't really see. So he doesn't technically swallow it. He's a vegetarian, and we don't know that. So that's why I'm saying you don't know these people because you don't live in their life. You're not with them 24/7, so we don't know.
Right. No, that's a great example. I totally forgot about that, because he was eating the steak. I remember that. And it looked like he was really eating the steak.
Sure. But if you watch closely, again, not now, you know, people are probably going to go back and watch it. And I want a bit of the royalties from the movie now. But when they go back and you know, he puts that napkin up there, he's actually spitting the steak out into the napkin. He doesn't actually finish eating it. So anyway.
He's actually really just This is a trick that a lot of people who do restrictive eating disorders do. They do actually spit their food into a napkin and then just throw the napkin away. Wow, interesting. Huh.
So there you go. Again, kudos to her. Shout out for, just clapping back a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. So here's Uncle Rico right there. Oh, I can do that. Look at that.
Look at Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico, the vegetarian, apparently. Yeah. What does he say? Napoleon, I can pigskin a quarter mile. Quarter mile, Napoleon. All right, Uncle Rico's going to have to go away. That's great. That's great. All right. Well, is there anything else? Anything that we've missed? We've got about 5 minutes left.
I don't think so.
Oh, what do I think, Lucy, about? Here's a question. Oh, wait. I don't know. Oh, I already talked about that. Yes, exactly. What do you think, Tracy? So I think I addressed that because JD asked, what do I think? Yeah, definitely try and stay out of the web. WEB, weight, eating behaviors, and body size and shape. And so, yeah, that's basically what we want to do. And nothing else, really. I mean, there's one other thing I'm trying to figure out. Do you want me to read the poem or what? What do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a cute poem. I mean, then you crinkled it up and threw it away. And I don't know, did you throw it away a second time or did you pull it out?
No, it's thrown away.
She had so guys, she's gonna. I think she should read it, but she had written this poem and then she crinkled it up and threw it in the trash. And then last night she goes, "I wrote a poem. You want me to read it for you?" And she had to go dig it out of the trash. So why she threw it away in the first place, I don't know. But I think it's kind of cute. I think they might get an amusement out of it. So.
Well, the poem is about a person that people know that are in this chat, and the reason I threw it away was because, and see, here it is all crinkled up, was because I didn't want anybody to get offended, and so I'm gonna read it because Timmy thinks it's okay to read it. Okay, so here is the poem, and this is basically my last person that I want to highlight for being able to transcend chaos and look out after her own mental health issues. And she is somebody who people know on YouTube. And so here's the poem. And you guys take with it what you will. Okay. A wee Irish girl who had hardship and strife. She had so much pain throughout all her life. After a time, she felt healthy again. Then one day she saw a red dog and his friend. She reached out to talk and her interest was pure. She really had fun talking with them for sure. But then the next day her fun went away because of some things that people will say. So, wee Irish girl, do not silence your voice. I admire your choice to get rid of the noise and just be you. So there's my poem that is crinkled up and whatever. So I wrote a poem and it was kind of hard to figure out whether or not I wanted to read it here, but I just did. So whatever. What do you think, Uncle Rico? Ooh, Uncle Rico likes it.
Yeah, sure he does. What's not to like?
What about Wim Hof? Wim Hof likes it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Well, so I guess that brings us to another end of another live stream with the Calming the Chaos people. And I guess what was that? I thought I heard something.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess this is the time where I kick Timmy out of the studio. And well, wait a minute. I will start my music first. And because I just really don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I totally forgot to do this. Before we go, I want to play my electric guitar for everybody. So So last time I had my saxophone, and now I have my electric guitar. Uh-oh, what the heck? All
What'd
right.
you knock over?
Does anybody hear that? Nope. Okay.
I can hear it.
All right. So let me play this and see what you guys think. If I can play the guitar, anybody can. See how easy it is? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Well, so another end of Calming the Chaos, and hopefully I didn't offend anybody out there, but we are going to go ahead and end now. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Calming the Chaos. And now I'm going to kick Timmy out.
Goodbye.
And again, thanks for joining me and putting up with whatever. Aw, get your spoons. Next time, bring them. We appreciate you. Everybody, take care.